Welcome all, Bone here from EWPRO. So getting on with the weekly outlook, we'll start with that DXY. Like I've been saying for ages, we got 5 down here with bullish divergence. I'm looking for at least that correction up to the 50 fib, and we can possibly break that top because we've got a C down on the weekly. If we go down to the H4, nothing's changed. Like the daily, we got that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I'm looking for that 5 up. At this stage, we've just got the 3 up, and we're getting that bearish divergence. Now that bearish divergence, we're nowhere near this 100 fib, but this wave isn't over. So, well, there's no sign that this wave's over yet. So we may still get some more upside up to at least this 100 fib I'm looking at. Like I said last week, sometimes we just get 1 wave up, sometimes we get 3 waves up, sometimes we get 5 waves up. So I'm just looking at that. We do have that. Why this trend line here holds, you still can look for buys. So if we go down onto the H1, you can see we're getting a little flag up here. We're getting a little flag up here. So we can look at this as it's nearly crossed down. So we can look at this as WXY X Z up on the H1. So wait for this correction here to be over, and then you can look for that Z up. Yeah, and then well, for the sell, you really have to wait for this correction in here to be over. Give that Z up, and then you'll have to wait for trend line break and correction to sell, or flag to sell. At this stage, there's more upside in it, and like I said, we can get to that 100 fib on the H4. Ideally, we get to that 100 fib on H4, and then we may get that larger correction, or this is a flat correction, and this will be the end of the move if we're looking at all this, because we have that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and looking for that 5 up. But it's only giving, it may only just give 3. So look for that Z up. If we go to the H1 AU on the daily, this is still looking, we've broken out of this trend line. The 100 fib's way up here. We're nowhere near that 100 fib. We've broken out of this trend line. We've sort of got 1, 2, 3 up in here. So we may end up looking at it like a flat in here. This may just turn out to be a flat for a larger A, B, C, because we're nowhere near that 100 fib. So it may turn into a larger correction in here on the daily. On the H4, I'm sort of looking for that. I was looking for that WXY. Now, we don't have any bearish divergence here, so I think there is still more downside. Why this trend line here holds, you can still look for sells. I'm pretty sure there's no divergence, or is it? Yes, there is divergence. Sorry. So we do have bearish divergence, and we're not down at this 100 fib here. So, this may go and break the top from here on the daily. That internal C wave down may be over. So we go down to H1, we're going to see what's going on here. We got this WXY. I'm looking at X2 and a Z down to finish off the wave. We do have bear hidden here. So we got bear hidden. There's possible bear hidden there. This is starting to be a larger correction. So this might be the end of the wave Y, and we just get 3 down here, then a larger correction, and then another 3 down, or impulse down to the 100 fib. But if you get this, if you get the Z down, I'll be looking for the Z down at this stage. Really, to buy, we need to take that bear hidden out of play. So we need a break above here, probably breaking this trend line here, and then look for your correction to buy the safest way, because we do have that bear hidden. Ideally, we get a Z down, then look for your impulse up, flag, correction, and buy. At this stage, I'll be looking for that Z down though. EU. So EU, again, like I've been saying, this one never got anywhere near the 100 fib either. Like I've been saying for the last few weeks, we got this, and then we're getting this. This is still looking, it's not impulsive. That's the problem. It's not impulsive. So it's looking more corrective for more upside eventually. But ideally, I'd like to see, we've broken that trend line, so we can come down to this 50 fib here. On the H4, nothing's changed. We got that 3-3. Well, I'm looking for that 3-3-5. So we got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Looking for that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like I said, we may just get that 1 impulse down, or we may get 3 down, or we may get 5 down. At this stage on the H4, we've just got an ABC in here. So I'll just draw that. So we're getting that bullish divergence in here. So why this trend line holds, you can still look for sells. So if we go down to the H1, you can see again, very similar to AU, we've got that WXY looking for an X2 and then a Z down to finish off that move. We don't have any bullish divergence. So yeah, again, usually in X2 we get to the 38.2. We start getting up to this 50 fib, well, you know that something's wrong, and we probably break out of here and then get a bullish setup. Well, then you can look for the buy. But at this stage, we're halfway through this X2, so wait for that X2. If you get a break, little flag, you can look for that Z down on the H1. GU daily. So here, this is looking corrective as well. We've broken out of this trend. We broke out of this trend line, and it's come back above that trend line. So again, like I said last week, on a pair, if we break a trend line and then go back above that trend line, we have to start looking for a different structure. So we can get this here as a flat in here for more upside. So we get something like A, B, C. See, we've broken back above that trend line, so you have to be careful. On the H4, there's someone in Twitter, they were looking at, and it's a fair point, like, it's hard to explain on Twitter, but they were looking at a triangle in here for an A, B, C, D, E, and then go. So you get that A, B, C with the triangle in the middle. It didn't fit my rules, but you definitely can look for that. I just had it as a contracting flat because that's the rules that I follow, and mainly because we had this in here too. That's why I sort of wasn't looking at this as a triangle, because we had the A, B, C in here on the lower time frame. But if we're looking at this now, we don't have any bearish divergence on this one, and we haven't got to the 100 fib. So again, why this trend line holds, we're in a downtrend. So why this trend line holds, you can look for sells. Down to this 100 fib. Well, ideally, I'd like to see it, like, you know, get down to this 50 fib. But like I said, once we get these trend line breaks and break above them, we have to start to look for different structures. So the H4, we don't have any bullish divergence, and we're still in that downtrend. H1, we just got one wave down here. During the week, I was actually looking for more downside. I was looking for a little flat in here, but it never went, and it still keeps on going up. We don't have any bearish hidden here, but we may get bearish hidden. So this may turn into a larger correction here, something like this, and then give us one more down. Ideally, for the buy, you want to break out of the H4 trend and give a H1 correction, and then look for your buy. But if you get a buy set up here, because we don't have any bullish divergence on this, but most of them are looking like we're just getting that C down. And like I said on the daily, we broke back above this trend line. So we may be getting that daily flat, running flat. So if you get a flag or a correction, more of a correction, you can definitely look for that buy. This, like I said, this one hadn't given us those internal H1 waves down. It's just one wave, not like AU and EU, where they're giving that possible Z down. I was looking for a Z down on this on the M15. Never got it. Never triggered the trade. So yeah, yeah. So NU, we very close to getting up to this 100 fib. Didn't quite get there. We got that bearish divergence. Last week I was saying this is looking very corrective, and that's what we got. We got a break and we fell over. So I was saying we're very corrective up here. So now on the H4, we don't have any bearish divergence. So this one's nearly gone to the 100 fib. Hasn't quite got there yet, but there's no bullish divergence. So while this trend line here holds, we can still look for sells, because it may just give us another correction up here and then more downside. if we go down to the H1, still looking for that Z down like most of them. So why this on the H1, why this trend line here holds, you can look for that Z down. If you get that Z down, you know, you'd probably be targeting this 100 fib here. More than likely you get a bounce off of that. So that's where I'd be targeting for the sell, for the Z down. It's not ready yet. And like I said, this is giving bear hidden here as well. So even if this is the end of the move of the first impulse and then gives a larger correction, or bear hidden, we really want to see this top here broken to get rid of that bear hidden, for the safest way to take the long. So that means that we're really waiting for this trend line, the H4 trend line, to break, then give us that correction, and then give us more reinsurance that we're going to get that next one up. It's called high probability trade. You know, that's what I call it. It's a high probability trade. If you're trying to buy within here, it's risky. You know, you want to wait for it to break out, then give you the correction, and then buy. If it gives you flags, you can look for the flags. There's no real setup at this stage, so you sort of have to wait, see what this gives, and we may get that Z down first and then look for the upside. So UY, sorry, on the daily. So like looking for that A, B, C on the H, on the daily, the 100 fibs right up here. Like I said, right down here, we have that potential bear hidden. I said it right down here. You know, we need to see this top broken to eliminate that possible bear hidden. Well, now we've got virtually a double top here, and we're at that high trend line. So you have to start to be careful. So if we go down to the H4, last week, I was looking at this, and we got another one up. Now this is interesting. Not many people teach this, like the swing points. People in my class will know what I'm talking about. But we got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 swing points. People in my class know what that means. Not many people teach this stuff. Swing points. If you want to look at it, you can either, you know, go and read the Elliott Wave book, or you know, you can learn it off of me. Most people don't read the book, so they don't look at these swing points or anything. But this is a good example. So we've got 11. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 swing points. So that's corrective. Okay. So I'm looking at it like this. You probably won't see this. You know, people will probably copy me after this. I've seen it before. So I'm looking at it as a WXYXZ for an extended wave in here. So we got an extended wave in wave Y. So we got a WXYXZ as an extended wave in wave Y. this wave Y, and then we get the larger X, and then we get a Z up. That's the way I'm looking at it. We do have in the internal Z up, well, the extended wave, we've got that bearish divergence in here. So you have to be very careful buying. Why this trend line here holds, you still can look for those buys. But we're nearly up to the 161.8 here for that Z up. So very risky to start looking for the buy. You really need to wait for this larger correction, you know, for the X2 before you look for that Z up. On the H1, I took this and yeah, so we got this break out of here. There's really nothing you can do now. You've already missed the trade if you're not on it. It's sort of giving, it may give a little bear flag in here. We've got an impulse down. It may give a little bear flag in here. If it gives you a bear flag, well, you can look for that sell because we may be at the start of the X2, the larger X2. So we'll be looking for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as your larger X2 on the H4. So that's just a zigzag pattern, but it could turn into any sort of correction. We don't know, but you know, if you get a little bear flag in here, you could start looking for that sell. There's no, yeah, it's risky to look for sells just at this stage because we don't have any bearish divergence and we just got that one impulse. So more than likely, we'll get more upside here. This might just turn into a correction or a flag here and get more upside. Why this trend, like I said, why this trend line here is holding, you can look for your buys. Get a break out of there, well, then you can start looking for your sells. But more than likely, we're just going to get that X2 before we get more upside. The Swissy on the daily. So for the last couple of weeks, I've rolled out that Z down. I've rolled that W1Z down out, and we've broken this top. So I'm on the daily. I'd really like to see a larger daily correction and then more upside. But I think there is more upside, definitely more upside on the daily, but we need that correction. If we look at the H4, again, if we're looking at these swing points, and like I said, if you want to learn all about these swing points, you won't learn this shit anywhere. You know, people just don't teach it. But if we look at the swing points, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's corrective. You know, so this stuff means stuff if you know what you're doing. But yeah, unfortunately, people just don't teach it. So yeah. But here we got bearish divergence. So we're ending a move here. We're coming to an end on the H4. We're at that 50 fib on the weekly. So now we definitely start rolling out that Z down. Usually when it gets to the 50 on the weekly, for that Z down, if it gets to the 50, well, you can virtually roll it out. I was rolling it out over here on that as well, but yeah. The H1, while we're still within this trend line, you can still look for buys pretty much like the other ones. Here, this was quite a difficult pattern because we got an A, B, C, but the wave C didn't break the low. Now, people think that it's not complete. Well, we only have to break the wave of A in the C. So wave C only has to break the ending point of wave A. It doesn't have to break the ending point of wave B in the A, B, C, in the B wave. So again, I've got a little buy set up in here, took that, got out when it started to do this. But now I'll be waiting for a correction in here, H1 correction for an A, B, C. You have to be careful because we're starting to get those divergences. So it's more for experienced traders. Like, you have to wait for good setups if you're going to buy this. If you're looking for the sell, well, you need that trend line break, flag, or correction before you can look for that sell. You CAD. So this is one on the daily that hasn't actually broken out yet. We're still within that downtrend. It hasn't broken out. We got a lot of bullish divergence, but the 100 fibs right down here. So there is still plenty of room down, but we're getting a lot of bullish divergence. So there's no way that I want to be looking for, I just don't want to be looking for sells. In here, on the H4, I was looking for this for a while now, A, B, C. We got the C up. It hasn't quite hit that 100 fib. Now, I think we do have, we got bear hidden here, I think. Not quite. Haven't quite got bear hidden there. I'm not really interested in the sell. I mean, you can look for that sell to go and break the low in the flat. But with the bullish divergence on the daily, it starts to get risky because this can turn at any time. But I am looking at that as a flat here, an A, B, C, and then we get like more downside A, B, C. If we have a look on the H1, we'll remove this. So H1, we got that, we got 5 up, W, X, Y, X, Z. Now we've got the break of the trend. We've got a break of this H1 trend line. So if you get a correction in here, and you're looking for that sell, well, you can look for this sell. It's up to you if you want to take the sell. If you get a nice setup, well, you can to go and break that low. I'll be more inclined to, just me personally, I'll wait until I'll leave this and wait until it gives us more divergence, and then I'll look for the buy. Wait for it to break the low and then look for the buy, because I think the larger impulse will be to the upside on the daily. Eventually, we're going to get that larger correction. Or this can be just an A, B, C in here, and we get 5 up here, and then we get 1, 2, 3, and then we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again for a zigzag sort of a pattern, So we just have to wait. Like I said, if you do get a sell set up, there's no reason why you can't take it. It's just me personally. I will wait until it breaks that low, or wait for a buy setup. I'm only really looking for buys. Doesn't mean that you can't sell it though. GU on the daily. GY, sorry. Okay, so like I've been saying, the 161.8 in wave Y is where we're targeting. Last week we don't have any bearish divergence. So on the H4, last week I was looking at this. I said, you know, pretty much done what I said. I said it'll probably come down to this 100 fib here and we'll get a bounce off the 100 fib. Well, it's pretty much done that. We've got this flat in here to go and break this top, at least go and break that top. On the H1, this was hard to get in. There was a little flag in here. It was very risky though. I want to wait for a flag. If you get any sort of flag in here, look for the buy to go and break the top. EG. So on the daily, there still is a little bit more downside. We've got A, B. We still can get down to this 100 fib. We still haven't got to that 100 fib. Now, these were my targets for that trade. I'll take this off now because the target's never quite hit. I was looking for that. We did get the C up. Well, I was looking at the C up here, and then we got a C up here. So I was looking for an A, B, C as a regular flat, and that failed. This one up here. Then we went and broke the low. So as soon as we broke that low, we know that it's a flat, and we're going to get that A, B, C. We're just going to get C up and then go and break that low. It's already broken that low. Well, it's broken the starting point of wave A, and that's all it has to do. It only has to break the starting point of wave A, not wave B. It hasn't quite broken below this wave B. I don't think this is over yet. You know, we might get some more downside. We'll have a look on the H1. So there's real no setup on it. We've got have to be very careful here because it can be ball hidden here. This one's a higher low over here, and we've got a lower low on the MACD, so there's possible ball hidden there. So yeah, really for the buy, I really need to see that impulse and then like a flag or a correction before I can look for the buy. There's no real buy or sell on it. This was just sell up here. A lot of people took it, but yeah, if you took that, you done well. Now we have that possible ball hidden. I dare say it'll probably fail, and we might get correction in here for more downside. The downside, you can short the downside. I'm more interested in the buy though, for that larger daily C up. Gold, like I've been saying for ages, this is going to be choppy, and we can see how choppy it is in here. So looking for that W, X, Y, X, Z. Been looking for this. Can go up. We saw it in this channel here, like I said. We're in this channel. So, you know, it can go up. This wave X2 can go probably up to that 50 fib or even further, and then give us that Z down. It's going to be very hard to trade on the daily because it's so choppy. On the H4, I was looking for this like A, B, C, and then a C up. We still haven't got that C up, so I'll take that off. So if we go down onto the H1 to have a look what's going on, this is looking very bullish. There's no doubt about it. You know, this is bullish, but you know, you have to wait. You have to wait for a break above here, a little flag or something to buy. It's very deep, so you know, it would have been nice if this one, you know, gave a little flag in here and made it easy to trade, but it didn't do that. It's going to be very choppy, this pair. It's going to be hard to trade for a long time. For a couple of years, I think it's going to be hard to trade this pair. So yeah, pretty much, yeah, if you get a little flag, you can look for the buy, because we are looking for that A, B, C. We're still getting it. We're still looking for that C up, but it just hasn't gone yet. It's sort of getting some sort of a structure in here. And this could turn out to be like an A, B, C in here. I'll just get rid of that. So we could get an A, B, C in here for some sort of a larger structure. So then we get like A, B, C. Then we get the A, B, C, A, B, C. So, you know, it can turn into a lot of different structures. It's going to be hard to trade this. You know, you really want good setups, flags like this, you know, nice setups. You want trades like this. These go, like you want nice impulse up, flag, and then buy. You know? So that's what you want. You want an impulse up, a flag up in here to buy. You want that price action to give it to you. Give you the setup first before you take any trades. WTI, we're at that 100 fib. We bounced off the 100 fib. We got that bearish divergence. We're just about crossing down. But while this trend line here holds, you still can look for buys. We're still in that uptrend. I can take this off. That was from ages ago. So that's pretty much completed. But we're still in that uptrend. Virtually going to get, we may get something like this. Correction in here. Another correction in here. And then more upside. Ideally, after we get bearish divergence, you know, I like to see that larger correction down to the 50 fib. And then more upside for an A, B, C. This is very choppy. So you just got the one. This is more bearish, really. Probably get a correction up in here and then more downside, possibly down to this trend line and then bounce off the trend line. If we go to the H1, we got 5 down. Last week we were in here somewhere and I was looking for that X2 and we got the Z down. So if you took the Z down, you're done well. Then we got a sharp move up, correction, sharp move up. So this can be like 5, 3, then we get another 5 down. If we look in here though, there's no setup on it. There's no buy or sell. This is a regular flat. So I dare say this will go and break this low. We've got an A, B, C, possibly go and break that low. Because this correction here is so deep, we look at it as a regular flat. Now, I'm not sure if this broke the top or if it's a contracting flat. It did break the top, just break the top. So if you do get a sell set up on this, you can look for it. So if you do get impulse down, little flag, you know, look for that sell to at least go and break that top. And you more than likely get those 5 down again. This one here took ages. This wave Y took ages. You know, it was very choppy in here, you know. And eventually it fell over. It took ages though. So yeah, had to have a lot of patience over here to get that wave Y. Bitcoin on the daily there's not much. We're looking for that larger correction. So this could be choppy for a long time. There's nothing on the daily. We just got bare internal divergence. Last week I was looking for that Z up. And then I said, if we get this Z up, we can all look for the short. We didn't get that Z up. So we just got a WXY, and then we've got an A, B, C, or WXY in here. And then we may get a Z down in here for a flat, and then we get the A, B, C for the larger A. I should have left that on there. But we're looking for that like this here as a flat, running flat. Could break that top, but we may get, because we got this in here, may get another one in here first to complete this pattern, A, B, C in here. To trade this now, well, the H4, we're in a downtrend. It's looking very corrective though. You know, all this is looking very corrective. It's very choppy. We go down to the H1, see what we're getting here. So we are getting bullish divergence between this low and this low. Well, that's it. You're getting bull hidden here. That's the problem. On the H1, you're getting bull hidden. So more than likely, like I was saying, we got this here. So we probably get this here and then another A, B, C. We got possible bull hidden, bear hidden here. So you have to be really careful. If you want to buy this, you really have to take out that possible bear hidden. Then look for the correction or flag and then look for the buy. Other than that, I think we may get one down here to finish off this, like A, B, C, and then give us more upside. Yeah, so you really have to wait for a nice setup. Is there bullish divergence there? The last two? I don't think there is. Very hard to see. Yeah, there is. There is bullish divergence there. So the bear hidden may not play out, but yeah, you really want to wait. I'd be waiting for this to break out of there, break out of this trend line, this H1 trend line, then look for your correction or flag to buy to go and break the top. SPX daily. So eventually on the daily, we're getting a lot of bearish divergence. And so eventually I am looking for that A, B, C on the daily. H4, like I said last week, you know, we didn't get any bearish divergence. So I was looking for that other one up. So we got a nice correction in here to buy. This will more than likely give an A, B, C for more upside. Then it's going to be very dangerous because we'll have H4 bearish divergence. Yeah. So yeah, we got the ABC down. Didn't quite hit that 100 fib. Like most of them, they didn't hit that 100 fib. So this is what can happen when it doesn't hit that 100 fib. So we can sort of expect this on the other pairs, you know, that didn't hit that 100 fib. So yeah, if you get any bullish flag, this was a little flat in here to buy. But if you get any little bullish flag, you can look for that buy. Your targets will be like that 100 fib. The ideal target's that 100 fib. So we're looking for this. Something like that. Up to that 100 fib. The DAX. H4 daily. We still got room up to that 100 fib. We are getting bearish divergence, so you have to be careful. Sort of getting a rising wedge. Oh, H4 starting to get like I've been saying, you know, like we got the break out of this, then another correction. Break out of this, another correction. So we've got to break out of this. So wait for a correction and buy if you're not on it. More than likely just get a correction in here like it's been doing, you know, breaks out of the trend line, then gives another correction, breaks out, gives a correction, breaks out, there's a little flag in here, breaks out, gives a correction. So yeah, wait for the correction and look for another scalp. You know, that's all you can do. You know? Yeah. There's no, well, we do have bearish divergence, like from right at the start. We got bearish divergence on the daily as well. We're starting to get, now we're going to start to get H4 divergence, you know, in here. So if you're looking for the sell, eventually this will fall over, give an impulse down. So, you know, we're getting bearish divergence, so it's very risky, you know, to be buying. You're buying at the top. So, yeah, we got 5 up. Oh, that's why I had the trend line there. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we got the larger correction, and we may get another 5 up, or we may just get 3 up. You know? So yeah, you know, if you get buy setup, you can look for buy. Why this trend line here holds, you can look for the buy setups. Wherever this ends, when you get that trend line break and bearish setup, look for that sell. The sell is going to be more important. I think we're going to get that larger. Eventually, we're going to get that larger crash. So the FTSE, okay. So it didn't drop. So daily, we're looking for this. Looking for this. Now this B wave can go and break that top. but I'm looking for that A, B, C. I'm looking for that impulse down. H4, I thought it might have been over last week. Sort of just touched that, just broke the top, gave us bearish divergence. But now we can start to look at it as, because we start to get this up here, you know, we can look at this as an A, B, C. So I'll remove that. Oh, yeah, should have. This is very choppy. So yeah, it definitely can be an A, B, C in here, and we get that A, B, C. So if I readjust this fib, I get a little bit more upside. That's going to upset the daily. But even on the daily, it still can be an A, B, C as a running flat, a larger running flat on the daily. So it doesn't really change the structure. Well, this structure here. So you're looking at that 100 fib here before you get a C down. So we get impulse A, B, C, and then we get that A, B, C on the daily as a running, more than likely a running flat, may come into you know, expanding flat or any other pattern. But at this stage, this is I'd be more inclined to look at this as a running flat in here. And so if you get any buy setup, you can look for the buy again, because we've identified a structure. I mean, you've probably seen the structure before I did, because I don't follow this pair, you know, but during the week, as soon as you got a break out of here or any bullish setup, you know, and you're seeing this structure, well, you could have looked for that buy. This is a very choppy pair. This is definitely not something I would trade, you know, but you really have to look for trade in the larger direction of the trend. Like you're looking for that C up now. So you want to wait for some sort of a bullish buy setup to buy. I don't know what sort of time frames. You know, you might want to go onto the real low time frames, look for the buy setup, and then just hold it. You know, have your stop down here. Yeah, I don't trade this pair, so it's difficult for me to explain how I trade it, because I don't trade it. Well, that's about it. I hope you all enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you out there next.